You gotta do the three.
What? You want me to do this?
You always do. You always do it.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome everybody. Oh, you're doing it?
We're doing it. You want to start?
We're doing it. No, we're going. We're going. We'll keep that in as a blooper. Sorry, I thought
blooper reel.
I thought you do the 3, 2, 1. I thought I do the welcome.
You've never done the welcome. We've done it twice, and you've done 0 welcomes.
I want to get there. Okay, I'm the co-host right now.
We didn't know what snap count we were going on, dude.
We did not. We did not.
Unbelievable.
So do it. Welcome everybody.
Welcome everybody. Episode 3, baby.
Episode 3 of the Snoozers podcast. Pillow talk. Patent trademark pending. Zachary, it is so good to see you. It is so. I'm so ready to talk football.
Yes, dude. Talk about everything.
We work. We work, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah, we work together, and we never even talk about football. We will pass each other in the hallway and say we can't even talk.
We've had to put a restriction on the banter boat, is what we call it.
A banter ban.
Yeah.
Ban.
Yeah.
Sure.
So we save everything for you guys.
Everything. So, this is all fresh, not rehearsed, not scripted.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Start us off.
Training camp injuries.
Yeah, it's hot today, man. I'm assuming it's hot everywhere.
Everybody's dehydrated.
Yeah.
Nobody's stretching. Nobody's stretching.
No.
Right?
And that's rule number 1. You've got to stretch before you start running, right? What are the injuries we got today already off the top of your head?
We got Scary Terry. We got Terry McLaurin.
The entire Commanders organization was scared.
Terrified to their bones. Halloween came early. Toe injury, I don't think it's supposed to be too serious. I think he's expected back week 1, right?
Hopefully it's not. I tell you what, one of the most underrated injuries, turf toe. That hurts like a motherfricker, man.
Well, I'm the athlete out of us too, clearly.
Yeah.
But you've had turf toe?
Yeah, and it sucks. So like people think, it's just a toe. So hopefully it's not a turf toe because it like hurts to walk and anytime you bend. So hopefully he just.
Who had that really bad like a couple years ago? And they're like, it's not like a big deal. It's only turf toe, and almost derailed his entire season.
Yeah, I know I can remember who you're talking about, but I don't remember who it is.
But like people were like downplaying it because turf toe sounds silly, you know?
Yeah, but it is.
It's a real deal.
Real deal.
And then we got DJ Chark out of your Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, that one hurt today. Pulled hammy, right?
Pulled hamstring.
Yeah, that's another one that is underrated, I think. That you think that you can just kind of keep going with a little bit of a pulled hammy, but it just is going to get worse. I mean, those are your engines, man.
We ran into it with CMC a season or 2 seasons ago, and Mad Rule, he pulled the hammy, that little non-contact, and and then he was day to day, and then he was week to week, and I don't think he took a meaningful snap for the rest of the season.
Yeah, So hopefully everybody heals up and everything, obviously for their purposes, and that nothing too serious, and everybody's out there for week 1.
Adam Thielen's the only healthy one. Who else do they have? The Panthers right now in their wide receiver room.
They've got Mingo. They've got Terrence Marshall Jr.
Okay.
Who's been quiet the past.
No. I looked it up. He has a back injury.
Marshall does?
Yes. And Bird has a hamstring injury.
Really?
He's actually on injured reserve.
Yikes.
So your boy Bryce Young out there just throwing to ghosts, brother.
You better check your phone. Maybe they're gonna call you.
they might put me in.
Let's go.
In the slot.
It will not be drafting you in fantasy. I hope it doesn't hurt your feelings.
I won't fall to you. It won't happen. People will reach for me. And then what else in training camp? Literally today, breaking news. Do you have this on your notes?
I do.
Say it.
The Sam Darnold news?
The Sam Darnold news.
Sam Darnold news over Trey Lance. So Trey Lance is looking like the backup to the backup.
Yes, assistant to the backup.
But I also read something else today. Do you know where Sir Trey Lance is from?
You're trying to be slick. He's from Minnesota, is he not?
He is.
And there were rumblings already
that he may be on his way back home to the Minnesota Vikings, which I don't think is a bad play at all, to be honest. If they get him for the right price, sit him behind Kirk for a year or two.
Yep.
Let him get used to the NFL life. I don't think he kind of got a fair crack at it.
I want to talk about price. Okay?
Yeah.
I was fanning the Jets earlier, with people in my circle.
Yeah.
Is there a bigger bust in the NFL when it comes to actual like picks and like just resources spent on a draft pick than Trey Lance. So they spent 3 firsts and a third on him.
That's so tough.
And he's played like no meaningful football.
Yeah.
It's actually insane.
Yeah. And obviously, like, with that being said, the 49ers are doing just fine, right? So,
but how good would they be if they had those 3 firsts?
Yeah, probably even better. Everything
might
happens
have
for a reason, right? Everything shakes out for a reason. But yeah, it's a really tough spot when you look at the past of what they spent on Trey Lance and the return they've gotten for Trey, right?
Not a big return.
And he was injured, and I don't think he kind of got a fair shake, but. Who knows? Either he stays there, and
they played him like a fullback for those first 2 games. I swear to God, it looked like me on 4th and 1 in Madden. It was just right up the middle.
Well,
just
and that's what's tough is I don't think, and I don't know how big Trey Lance is to a T. I know he's decent size.
He's bigger than me.
A lot of people are. But I think
Bryce Young isn't.
Allegedly, I'd still like to get a back-to-back. But it's the difference between running between the tackles, a lot of like downhill QB runs and getting guys out on options and stuff where they can slide or get out of bounds, right?
Right.
But yeah, I would love to see him in Minnesota. For Minnesota's sake, being a Lions fan, it is what it is. But
I always liked him. I was super high on him. I like those like type of athletes. Obviously, I just do. So I really wanted him to pan out. I thought in Shanahan's offense he'd be able to, but instead, the Darnold is beating him out in training camp. Many people are saying this.
He was good for Carolina last year too.
Yeah.
Like he's
serviceable.
Yeah, another guy that's finding his way. I think he's we talk about.
They came out crazy. They came out like 5-0, didn't they? Like something really good.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but I think he's a great number 2 quarterback, a good backup quarterback, right? 100%. He may not be your franchise quarterback, but as far as a backup goes, I think he's probably one of the better ones.
He's not going to implode the team, right?
No, and that's what you want, right? You want a little bit of a drop off.
That's exactly what you want.
Somebody that can come in.
Good intel. See, this is why we don't talk about football during the week, so we can catch everybody else up.
Yeah.
What else? I see you got a little thing on here that you want to chat about.
Yeah, you said you don't watch any preseason football.
I watch a little bit of preseason.
And you were a fool to not watch this Ravens-Commanders game.
I actually heard this was the most exciting preseason game of all time.
Hands down. And I turned on the game at the perfect moment. It was the last drive of the game. I watched 0 minutes of the game up until the very last drive.
So you can say you watched it.
I was on YouTube TV scrolling for something, and I'm like, I wonder if this game is still on. And I turned it on, and it was as the Commanders were driving down the field. They were down by 2, driving down to get into to scoring range. And they ended up – it was a very exciting game, a very, very good drive by them.
I heard it was a lot of fun. Who were they starting? Who were they starting?
I want to say it was their quarterback was Jake Fromm from Georgia.
No way.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so. Actually, I think I saw
that. But he had a couple of nice throws to get them into field goal range, and then to win the game it was actually Joey Sly.
Okay.
Who's an NFL kicker. He's been a starter. I think he started off in Carolina and had some success. And then I think he's kind of bounced around a little bit, but he's definitely like a starting day kicker. It was
exciting.
So, and in a turn of events, right before Joey Sly was about to kick, Washington iced their own kicker.
Stop.
Yeah, Riverboat Ron said, "You're going to ice my kicker, I'll beat you to it." And iced him.
The drama, the intrigue.
Yeah.
In preseason week 3.
And, Joey Sly knocked it through the uprights, and it ended Baltimore's 24-game preseason winning streak.
Insane.
Take on that how you will, but it's just crazy. I don't know what's crazier is that Baltimore had the 24-game win streak preseason, or Ron Rivera icing his own kicker, but it all worked out in the end.
It's gonna be a documentary one day.
Probably 30 for 30, baby.
30 for maybe not a full-on docu, but that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Good game. I've heard nothing but good things. Thank you for filling me in.
So maybe
you saved me so much time.
Yeah.
Because I got the goosebumps.
Yeah.
I got all the
one thing really pissed me off at the end of the game too, and you can probably tell in my face. is that the commentators at the end of the game were talking about, everybody was fired up in the crowd. It was in Washington. Everybody was fired up. They're cheering, doing all this stuff, and they said, good for them. They haven't won a playoff game since 2005. And I said, as a Lions fan, you can beat it.
You actually had that down in your notes, and I had to fact check you because I could not believe that.
Yeah, and to clarify, they've been to the playoffs since 2005. They have not won a game. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they've been to the playoffs 4 times since 2005. And in 3 of those cases, they were first place in their division and got bounced in the wild card or the divisional round.
And then I actually think the other time would have been 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
They were the wild card.
Yeah.
And I think it was Heineke, right? Almost defeated Tom Brady and the Bucs, right? And it was an insane dogfight.
Heineke is my guy, dude. I like him a lot. He's in Atlanta now.
He's in Atlanta now? Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, God. What do we do? Go turn him on.
Dude, I can't see.
Turn on your light. That somebody's fucking with us.
Dude, did I hit something on there?
I think, no, we're good. Somebody just... I don't believe that. That was crazy.
It was like the Super Bowl with the
Ravens
and the 49ers, bro. What in heaven's name? All right, let me get resituated here.
That's the ultimate.
Yikes.
My helmet's gone. It's the heist.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. What fun was that?
Yeah. But, yeah, that was it was a fun game to watch. Heineke almost beat them in the playoffs. It's been 2005.
I'm so rattled.
I'm rattled right now, bro. We'll go to the next thing. Have you seen the show on Netflix, the QB1 show? Did you watch it?
I did not watch it.
Are you putting it on your watch list? I'm going to reach across this table.
It's first up is The Blind Side. Second of all is QB on Netflix. I know.
I hate it here.
Is it good?
It was good. I liked it a lot. There was 3 quarterbacks on it. It was Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins up in Minnesota, and then Marcus Mariota. And they basically followed all 3 of them around for the season last year. It was really cool because obviously the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Do you remember that?
I believe I missed it.
Oh, yeah.
Did they have a Super Bowl last year?
Yeah, they beat – who did they beat?
Don't even make me say it. Don't make me say it.
But, yeah, so it was a really good show. So I thought it would be fun if we were the producers of that show. Who would you want? And I'm gonna tier it kind of how they tiered it. So in my opinion, they had a superstar in Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. They had a veteran in Kirk Cousins, and then they had a guy that was kind of trying to make it back in the league.
Okay.
So if you have it different on yours, you can say yours. I pick mine. That's fine. You can go ahead. You'll be wrong, and then I'll do it the right way and tier them how they tiered them.
I'm the new producer. I have to switch up the format because obviously, if it did not grab me, I mean, what are we doing, bro? I don't watch anything, bro.
Yeah.
So I have to flip it on its head.
Okay.
I picked 3 quarterbacks.
So give me you want to do all 3, and then I'll do my 3.
You want to do it that way?
Yeah.
Let's do it that way. That's good. That
give me your 3 picks, and then I'll do mine.
My first is Jordan Love. Okay. We've talked about it. I'm not very high on Jordan Love, but the story potential with the Favre to Rodgers and then the Rodgers to Love parallel, it's absolutely insane. I mean, he's a young quarterback. A lot of people think they reached on him. They traded up to get him, passed over, some people. And I mean, like that. It's really hard to come into, especially into like the football city of Green Bay, right? Yeah. I would really like to see how that affected him, how he's handling it, and then also like they expect a lot out of their quarterbacks because they've been spoiled for the last 100 years. Yeah. So it'd be really interesting to see how he's handling all of that expectation.
I heard he's doing really well in camp, though.
Really?
So I just saw, I think it was a clip from Pat McAfee, but he's looking good, and I know the Packers don't expect him to be Aaron Rodgers.
No. You want different though, a little different.
Yeah, I mean, So I think, in my opinion, they know. Obviously, they know what they have with Jordan Love more than anybody else because they've seen him on a day-to-day basis.
Yep.
And if they're willing to,
let Rodgers
go.
You think they know more about Jordan Love than we do, sitting here?
well, I didn't say everybody, us maybe, but I would say they know what they have. They're comfortable with what they have, and maybe it's not as big as a drop off as everybody thinks. Now
I'm getting excited. See, my first pick already incredible.
Yeah.
My second one is Tua. My Miami Dolphins. the guy who commented about Miami Dolphins. He's gonna love this. I wish I had. How dare he?
Just to be clear, that's a running joke. You are Go Birds.
I'm Go Birds.
I think you say that in your sleep sometimes.
I do.
Is what I've heard.
The wife loves it.
Yeah. So
the joke is that I'm the Miami Dolphins fan because I'm high on the Miami Dolphins, and for some reason I keep circling back to it.
Yes.
And then you.
Yes.
Are the Carolina Panthers.
I do like the Panthers.
And
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. Sorry. Go ahead, Tua.
Second is Tua.
So nobody comes for you again.
I would love to see. Thank you. Protect me. I would love to see how he handled all of his health concerns. Again, they had a really fun offense. The concussions. Holy cow, that must have been a whole lot going on. But I would also like to get into the lore of Tua. Okay. And I heard a rumor that his dad is pretty strict, okay, and coach him, his life and whatnot, and push him to do these things. But I heard that Tua is right-handed, but his dad forced him to play left-handed because he thought it'd make it harder for opposing defenses to defend against.
Yeah.
And oh my God, tell me about that! Netflix picked the script up, right? Have you heard that?
Yeah.
That would just be fun.
That would be fun. And
have you ever tried to do any? Are you right?
Yeah, I can. I'm actually decent with my left hand, like throwing, shooting a basketball.
Of course.
God-given athletic ability, baby.
I know. No, I can barely pick up my damn phone with my left hand. So it'd be so interesting.
Yeah.
And also, if you ever watch, they take those Tua clips and near them, and he looks ridiculous throwing.
Really?
Yeah, because his throwing motion is way weird. I don't know. I'd like it.
Yeah, I got you.
And then Brock Purdy.
Okay.
Say what you want about the 49ers. I've had a lot.
Fun.
That's crazy. You're Mr. Irrelevant, and you pretty much bring your team to the Super Bowl after their first two starters implode until your arm implodes, and you're this close. That would have been cool to see.
Yeah. Funny that you say that. Last night I watched – so I'm a big on YouTube and watching – for instance, I'm sure most people know the Lions have the show called Inside the Den, and it's essentially Hard Knocks for the Lions. A lot of teams do it.
Yes, a lot.
I found, and I usually will go around and look for different teams. Like the Panthers have one, Camp Confidential.
Surprise! He found the Panthers.
I found the Panthers one. I found the 49ers one last night.
Okay.
And it was called Brick by Brick on YouTube, and I about fell asleep.
Really?
Yeah. No offense to them. I love Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
Old Panther. One of my favorite players in the NFL. And I was really excited to watch it. And don't come for me in the comments, but it was.
So you would not have Brock Purdy on your QB1?
No, he was.
Run it then.
Yeah.
Let me get your
All
list.
Right. So
you're going the superstar, you're going the vet, and you're going the up and comer, right?
Yes. So for my
Bryce
superstar,
Young for all three.
Starting off, no, I think my superstar that I would like for them to follow around that I think would be really fun, Joey Burr. I think he would be fun. I was torn between him and Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen would be really good, but I think you just follow Joe Burrow around at practice and you have him mic'd up.
Is he the coolest guy? I love that guy. Yeah. The cigar, the LSU. Yeah. Oh my God,
he's probably the coolest guy.
Holy cow!
Yeah,
I love
so that one, and then the vet. I'm gonna stay in my hometown and go Jared Goff. I think
what a story.
Yeah,
what a story, right?
So I think he's got a good personality as well. He's fun to listen to just from the things that we see.
Ryan Gosling looking. Yeah.
It's very similar. If they were both facing the other way, I wouldn't know who's who.
I would not know who's the football player and who's Ken.
Yes. And you would never know. But I think he would be a good story, not super similar to Kirk's story, but it is a veteran that is kind of found his way back into the NFL. People kind of wrote him off, and he's back. So, and then my kind of redemption player, similar to the Marcus Mariota kind of story.
That went well.
Is
what he's got props?
my boy Baker Mayfield.
Oh, no.
This is him in a Browns uniform, as you can see. But Baker J. Mayfield is who I would pick. I don't know what his middle name is, or if it's even a J.
I love throwing middle initials in.
But yeah, I think, man, that would be fun to have him mic'd up.
I
think it would be more, obviously it would be for this season, right?
Right.
But what a kind of almost like a Jared Goff prequel, right?
Yeah.
You know, maybe not bounced around as much, but people have kind of wrote him off, and he bounced around. And what a crazy situation to go from a number 1 pick to being signed and released and cut.
Yeah, like the hero of your city, too. Like, oh, my God. Like, God, like, them back into it.
Yeah. So I think my show would be way better than your show with my lineup.
It's strong. I mean, yours is kind of like you took the easy choices.
What do you mean?
You just took the easy. It's
like
okay.
Who? Give me an example.
Do you know how hard it's going to be to direct Brock Purdy? Like, he's not going to know.
Yeah.
You have Ryan Gosling.
Exactly.
It's whatever, man. I do like Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I think
starting quarterback for the Bucs now, officially.
Yeah.
I'm rooting
happy
for
him.
Creamsicles.
I think he'll be good. I think he'll be a good player. Yeah.
He is a good player. Put some respect on his name. Write him back.
We'll find out. I love Baker to death, but I'm also a real deal guy. So
Are we doing fantasy this year?
Where?
We're doing fantasy football?
Can't wait to drag you through the mud.
It's going to be exciting. It's actually our first year in a fantasy league together.
Yeah.
It's weird because I usually win.
And I usually win.
And there can be only one. There can be only one. We draft this coming Monday.
We do. Yeah.
What are we doing?
We're doing as the commissioner of the league. Yeah. So I make the rules. So we're doing an in-person, just a regular snake draft. But I try to make it a little fun for everybody. So what we're doing is getting everybody into one room. And normally what you would do is and this has been a trend. Let me say this. This has been a trend on TikTok of draft order. Like, I don't know if you've seen some good ones. I've seen some good ones.
I've not seen any.
I've seen
what's TikTok?
Everybody puts a name on a golf ball. They put it in a bucket, and they throw it out in the yard, and the dog goes and retrieves the names one by one. Like, that's the draft order. I saw a funny one yesterday. It was one of the guy's 2-year-old son. He was running the 40-yard dash, and everybody had to put a time in, and the closest person was first overall, and then it went wild stuff. Yeah.
Are we doing anything like that?
We are. Yes, we are. So we're doing something maybe not as crazy as that, but what we're going to do is we're going to put everybody's name on a randomizer wheel, and we're going to hit that random button, and whoever's name pops up, you get to pick your pick in the 1 through 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't know where we're drafting until draft day.
Yeah, you don't have a clue.
Are you going to be okay with that?
I'll be great.
Okay.
You're
more of the scripted guy.
I sit by the seat of my pants. We'll go whatever. We'll go whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
What spot do you want?
I'm not just getting.
You have to. Nope. You have to.
I know you put that in the script because all you're trying to do is get intel on me, and I think that's ridiculous.
It's called mutually assured destruction.
I want the number 1 overall pick.
You want the number 1 overall pick?
Yep.
You do know that also means you get like the 24th overall pick.
Yeah, because of math.
I'm gunning for between 1 and 4. I feel comfortable between 1 and 4. I feel like I can get one of my guys, and I feel like I can get good on the turn.
You're going to get the 3rd overall pick and pick Philly's defense?
Hey, man, it can't be stopped. Jalen Carter, are you kidding me? No, I'm usually like a 6 to 8 kind of guy.
Yeah.
This draft, no, I won 1 through 4.
There's some heavy hitters.
I know.
Heavy hitters 1 through 4. I do think it drops off after the 4th pick.
It does. So okay. See, look. So we had that whole fight about nothing because we think the same. Surprise.
I'm just gonna find out who you want and then take one spot ahead of you.
We have a goddamn football podcast together. We can show each other some mutual respect. Are we doing any punishments?
Yeah. Well, you talked about you guys in your league last year, you keep trying to infiltrate into my league.
But can I tell the pancake story?
I would love for you to tell the pancake story.
So we did the pancake challenge. Everybody does. You go to IHOP and what's the last place in the league to prevent people from quitting halfway through the year. You have to sit at an IHOP and eat 24 You have to stay there for 24 hours. But for every pancake you eat, we remove an hour, right?
Correct.
So it's like you can either stay there an hour and eat 23 pancakes or just hang out, right? So we decided to move it from IHOP to work, and the guy started at 9 a.m. And we ordered him 24 pancakes, and he said...
Are you saying pancakes or pancakes?
Sorry, bro, the lights turned off. Got me all fucking breath. Pancakes.
Okay.
And he thought the best way to approach 24 pancakes was to get a gallon of 2% milk to wash it all down.
Not great.
And he vomited within 45 minutes, and he went home, and we felt
that's
really
a
bad.
challenge in itself, is trying to drink the gallon. He went from doing one challenge to doing 2 challenges in one.
It's like, let's just
push
them together.
I'm going to have a chit-chat with him tomorrow, man, because that was a horrible strategy.
So are we doing anything similar?
Yeah, I think we're going to flip the hot dogs, I think.
I could do 24 hot dogs right now.
I don't think that's true.
I love hot dogs.
How fast? So, based off of math, how fast do you think Joey Chestnut could eat? Like, finish our challenge? It's literally like 4 minutes, isn't it? Not even?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he could do it in like 4 minutes. I think I could eat 24 hot dogs in 3 hours.
Yeah, let's find out.
We'll
do a 3-hour podcast one time, and you have to eat the whole time. Wouldn't that just be? Just imagine if you had Joey Chestnut in your fantasy football league, and he took last place, and it was a challenge like that, and it was just done in 4 minutes, and he's just like, "Thanks
wait,
for
he
the
started?
meal. See you guys."
I was in the bathroom. Yeah. Joey started already.
Or do you think like his fantasy football is like a bunch of competitive eating friends, and they're like 75 hot dogs or 100 hot dogs? Like that's the last place challenge.
We have to keep an eye on like hot dog prices, like the end of the fantasy season, and see if there's a spike and if there's like competitive eater rings in fantasy football.
We need to get a hold of Joey Chestnut. I have questions.
Joey Chestnut, if you're watching this,
come on, Joey.
Tell us. Just fill us in.
Yeah, dude. I just have one question. Just give me your email. I'll email you right back.
Let's talk about it. We'll delete it. We'll delete your email. You can block us.
Yeah. I just have one question. That's all.
The Jim Irsay roulette has not been going well, so
dude,
we can pick up Joey Chestnut.
That whole thing's not going well up in Indy. So
we gotta. Let's jump right into it.
Yeah.
So you already had me put on my producer hat.
Yeah. You're the best at it.
Now I have to put on my general manager hat?
Yeah.
Is what it says down here.
Yeah.
And I was looking for a hat to bring.
Well, because I know if I wrote owner hat, you just move the team and it would be gone. So
who should trade for Jonathan Taylor? I've not even thought about this even a little bit.
Yeah.
So you have to say it first.
I thought about it a little bit too, and I was listening to the radio yesterday. Some people talking about it. They had some crazy takes. One guy said the Titans. Like you forget that they have Derrick Henry. Like
literally, as I went through my head, I'm like, okay, what team on the spot?
Yeah.
I'm like, I know the one team not.
Yeah.
and
to be fair, Derrick Henry is on his last year of his contract, so they may not resign and they bring in Jonathan Taylor. I could see where it would happen. I don't know. If I am putting my GM hat on, I think the closest city possible, and it's the Chicago Bears.
Really?
Which I would hate that as a Lions fan, but I think it's a good move. You know.
Yeah, they only got Khalil.
They've got Khalil Herbert, and they've got Donta Foreman. I don't think either one of those guys is, a top 10 running back in the league. We'll find out, I suppose. But I think that makes the Bears great.
Yeah, that's huge.
It'd
be a really good fit.
Especially with Justin Fields, they can maybe move into like more of like a San Francisco or Baltimore offense where the quarterback runs, the running backs run, and with DJ Moore there, the offense already got better. So I think adding Jonathan Taylor to that, they've got a gazillion dollars in salary cap somehow still after
they do. They have a
lot.
lot.
Yeah, so I think that would be the number one fit off the top of my head would be Chicago.
My top fit. So I'm thinking from a win now perspective. Okay, I'm thinking like you wanna like an element that's missing in an offense that I think is close. This is gonna sound so stupid.
Buckle up.
It's my Miami Dolphins.
Can we talk about any other teams?
I know. It's like there's 6 NFL teams, and the Dolphins are 2 of them. It's like they need a heavy running presence. Tua can sling with his fake left arm that his dad made him have 100 times a game. Yeah. Like, I really think he'd be a good fit there. I don't know what their cap situation's like, but I feel like that would push. I don't think it's good. I don't think they could do it. No. But I think that would like add just another level.
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
Especially Devon A-Chain, your boy, recently got injured.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Yeah, I just think that'd be fun.
Yeah, I think it's not a bad fit at all. Cap-wise, I don't think they're in a great spot because of Tyreek Hill. I think they paid him a lot of money.
Lots.
And not only that, they just picked up Jalen Ramsey. I like just strictly on paper, who needs a running back? I think Miami's great.
Yeah,
obviously,
thank you for agreeing.
We're a little more than your basic football podcast, so we have to scratch more than just the surface.
I know we're not just surface level.
Because you're the guy that goes and trades for somebody on Madden, and then goes look at the contract and goes, "Oh my god!"
I know.
Wow. We're in debt.
I'm in a really bad spot in my Madden franchise right now.
I bet you are.
Because I traded away so much for Eckler and Richardson, and Richardson's not good, and I'm not good, so that compounds. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just draft somebody in the new draft, and I have nothing.
Yeah.
So
I would not want to play for your franchise.
Canada's first NFL team is an immediate,
very cold up there.
Immediate rebuild.
Very cold, but that GM seat is going to be very hot.
Yeah, I'm fired.
I'm
the owner.
Oh yeah,
fire the owner. You can't do that. Dan Schneider.
Exactly. I was gonna say, tread lightly.
Hey, while we're GMs and while we're owners and such things, you have a little note here.
Yeah.
The Browns logo.
Yeah.
What's that?
So the Browns had the other day on social media.
This was like a month ago.
That's like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, social media. I know sometimes you aren't up to date.
I'm not privy to such information.
They were. I think it's what is going to go. Maybe it's not the midfield logo.
I think it's midfield. I think it's midfield.
Is it?
And then also I think like social media presence.
So the Browns just got a new logo with the dog.
Yes, and then they had the polls and stuff through the dogs, and there were like 2 really bad ones, and then there were 2 okay ones, but one's a bit more cartoony, and the other one was a bit meaner, dog pound type vibe, and then the meaner one won, and I like it.
Yeah. And then the other one is the elf running the he's Brownie.
It's Brownie.
It's running the football.
Oh my God! Tap the originality banks for that one.
He's carrying the football, if I'm not mistaken, up and down, isn't he? It's horrible.
That's how I would hold a football.
I know it would. And just like we talked about Ryan Gosling and Jared Goff facing there, we wouldn't know if you and Brownie were facing opposite way. I wouldn't know who's who. So I'm asking you, what logo would you go with? Do you think is better? And then I'll even add on to that. Is there anybody in mind that you think needs a little logo uniform revamp?
Oh, even uniforms. Okay.
Either way, whatever you want.
Either way.
I know you didn't prepare, so it's fine.
We're here. I'd actually stick with the dog. I do like the dog. Yeah. Brownie, okay, like it's a little out there. It feels almost more college football-y than NFL-y. Yeah. So I'm gonna upset some college football fans, which we're gonna get into it. Yeah. But I don't know. I just prefer the dog. It just seems right. They got the dog pound. The Browns and whatnot. Like I don't know. Brownie can hang out.
That's what I was thinking.
But I don't want. Yeah, he can come around. He can kind of be like an extra little.
You invite him over for dinner every once in a while.
Exactly.
But he's not staying.
You're not staying. You're not. Didn't clean the sheet.
Exactly. Yeah. Every once in a while he can come hang out.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's about 9:30. You do the. Yeah. Well, Brownie.
Well, Brownie time.
We're just time to turn in. We got a big day tomorrow. We got a football game.
I agree 100%. I like the history of it. You keep them around, but I think ultimately they made a good move by going with the dog.
And you like the dog they picked?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think they should add the dog to their helmet?
No.
No.
Nope.
You like just a plain orange
I
helmet?
love just the plain brown helmet. Do you think they should add the dog to their helmet?
I'd like to see what it looked like. I'd like to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put something together for you.
Yeah.
Just for you.
Yeah, I got some guys on Twitter that are great at NFL helmet mock-ups.
Okay.
We'll probably just tag them in these videos. So we'll clip it.
And
We'll tag those guys and we can see what it looks like.
Let's go.
But no, I think it's tough because I do like the history of certain teams, right? I think no matter what, there's just some teams that you just don't change. And I think we kind of saw it with the Colts and their weird black uniforms.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was kind of going black out. I feel like every other team had the black alternate jersey.
Yeah,
they're getting away from it this year.
Yeah, not a fan of those. But if I had to pick a team to revamp a little bit, I think for just strictly a logo, I think I'm going the New York Giants, and I want their Giants logo back. The same wording that's the Giants on their
Oh my God,
school.
that's so good. We're just as Giants as opposed to the NY.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, so I think they should go back to that. The NY is not bad, but I think the Giants logo to me.
I really like it. We're just as Giants.
Yeah.
East Rutherford, New York Giants.
Yeah.
It's good. I like that.
And their uniforms, I kind of like even with the Giants, kind of their retro, like they should make
those retros go hard.
Yeah, I like those a lot. But my team overall that I think needs a little bit of a revamp, and they just actually got a little bit of a revamp, the Atlanta Falcons.
The worst jerseys in sports, the gradient numbers.
Yeah, I just am not a fan. I'm not a fan of like the big ATL letters on the front.
Yeah.
I really liked the Mike Vick jerseys back in the day. I thought those were
really
sick.
clean.
Yeah,
really clean.
But I think if they just went a little more simple, I think like a lot of these teams are trying to make it like the most, the newest and greatest thing, and they just kind of miss it. So.
I mean, like, we don't even have to get into the market lore about it, but I really feel like it was in that era when everything was a little over designed. Yeah. I feel like everything was a little over designed in like social media, new logos and stuff like that. Everybody's changing stuff, and it just feels like a relic of the bygone like Matty Ice era. Yeah. Like it's like when I see it, it's like I remember they first came out with it. Yep. I think it was right after they lost the Super Bowl, and they're like, let's rebrand and stuff. Like that's all I can forget about that. Yeah, that's all I can remember about it.
Yeah, so. That was their bottle of Jack. We're gonna forget about that.
Exactly. Hey, look at this new shiny thing over here. Too bad we didn't have a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that was me. Yeah, no, I would like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
And then I kind of I was also gonna almost rope in the Minnesota Vikings as well. Just their uniforms. I think they're one of the classics. You never take away the horns, in my opinion.
You cannot.
Right. So leave the helmet alone. Maybe you change the purple on it a little bit, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think they could use a little jersey revamp as well. But I think,
I love those classic helmets. The ones that like loved the old Rams ones. I think those were iconic.
The Rams are another helmet.
I like the helmets that like aren't just the logo plastered on there. So we got the Birds. We have the Vikings. I really like the Browns. We talked about.
Yeah.
I really like the Steelers too because it's only on one side.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yep.
So like just those.
The Bengals.
We're gonna talk.
There's only
We're gonna talk.
You're gonna change the Bengals helmets?
We're gonna talk about it. We're not gonna change the Bengals helmets.
They're up there. They're up there with the Panthers.
You better hope I never get.
But that's only because they're black and orange.
You better hope I never get $8.5 billion because I'm gonna ruin one of your favorite NFL teams with a rebrand.
Well, that's okay because as soon as you're a part of that franchise, they're no longer my favorite team.
That's okay. That's okay. Any press is good press, baby. Is it my turn?
Yeah, go crazy.
Off your soapbox.
Yeah,
we're here.
Yeah.
Bring back the Bengal cat as opposed to the striped bee.
Oh, I agree with that 100%.
Okay, see, we're good.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Bring that back. I mean, it just like one. I'll go into it too. The Chicago Bears just, I think, recently did it. They can't commit to it yet. They're kind of like, playing the field.
Yeah.
But
what do you guys think?
What do you guys? Get rid of the C and go to that bear logo.
Yeah, that's a tough one though, because that's a
like,
classic. Yeah. But I think it'd be a cool alternate helmet. Mm-hmm. So I think.
Ready?
What if they put it on an orange helmet?
Keep the C on the helmet, but change the logo at like midfield and on the broadcast to the bear.
Yeah, I agree.
We can get there.
Yeah.
Right?
So you like to change the logo, the visual logo, but not the helmet.
Right. Like I would I would do that for these teams.
I agree.
Okay?
I agree, 100%. I think the Cincinnati B is...
The Cincinnati B's, I'm out.
Weak sauce.
It is. Yeah. It's not it.
Yeah. I think they have... Even just the Bengal head, I think is a lot better.
A lot better.
Yeah.
And do you know the team that needs a logo change the most?
I know exactly what you're going to say.
You know? There's...
I know what you're saying.
What am I going to say?
Put the helmet back on the Dolphin.
Put the helmet back on my Miami
exactly,
Dolphins.
Dude, I knew it. I agree, though. I do agree. That is one of my favorite logos.
What a fun quirk. Like, just like, why is he wearing a helmet? Because he's playing football. It's awesome.
Dolphin football, dude.
Dolphin football. It gets crazy. They're mean. I'll get into how mean Dolphins are one day. But
that's on our animal podcast.
That is on our that is on the animal podcast. It's launching next week. It's going to be.
The saddest thing about that is I could do a whole podcast on animals easily.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you find somebody else to do that with, because I know very little.
If you have any animal questions, you just let me know.
What? Oh, and the Commanders. Commanders, now that they have a new owner, they got to go.
They're going to go. Yeah.
They got to go away from the old Dan Snyder era. First of all, I loved the Washington football team. I thought it was at first I thought it was the funniest name, but then I'm like, these guys are no bullshit. They just get to the point. We just play football. Washington football team.
Nobody can ever go, what are these guys doing?
There's no confusion. You're not like, well, I mean, it's right there in the name. Washington football team. Yeah. Short, sweet, to the point. I think they should have kept it. It was hilarious. I liked it. But now, if you had to pick a new thing for the commies without relocating them to Canada, gut check. You didn't even think about it, did you? You want him to give you a little bit of second?
No, I can pull something out of my keister.
I say Red Hogs.
I do like that one.
Like Red Hogs. Like, I feel like they could go. I feel like they could go. Lean into it.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that was actually one of the
Wasn't like Red Hawks one too, but I feel
Red
like
Hawks
that's
was
similar to the Falcons. It's just another name for a falcon.
Yeah, we don't need another bird.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like we have enough. How many birds are there? Holy cow! We got Ravens, Eagles, Seahawks, Cardinals.
6. A couple years ago, the Lions went through the bird gauntlet.
It
might have been last year.
I don't think anybody's beat it.
2 years
I don't
ago.
think anybody's beating it.
No, that's tough.
Especially not the 49ers. A little bit of
as far as the Washington name goes, I'm not sure. It's tough because Washington, and you immediately want to go to the Capitals, like their hockey team, or the Nationals, like their baseball team, or the Wizards. No, they want to make it like political, obviously, or whatever you want to do. But
if it comes out Washington Presidents, I will never watch football again.
There's no way.
Okay, then make the same bet because it's too ridiculous and on the nose. But they might.
No,
you're scared.
Did you see the owner of the? It was, I think, during the weird handshake.
So it's this. So it was it Joe Buck?
Yeah, was talking with his
Joe
hands.
Buck.
So we'll do this. You're Joe Buck. I'm new Washington owner that I don't know his name because it's Washington. So he's in the middle of Joe Buck and another gentleman, exhibition games going on, the most exciting game.
Yeah, the preseason game, right?
Yeah, Joe Buck's talking with his hands.
Yeah, so am I Joe Buck?
You're Joe Buck.
So yeah, Joe Buck's like, and then but he keeps talking. You got to look it up.
Yeah.
It's the most awkward thing ever because he's like,
boom,
boom, and he only got 2 fingers. And Joe Buck, a consummate professional,
does
not break stride. It's actually the greatest bit of improv I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and he must
because I just know in Joe Buck's ear the producers are going, "What the fuck did that guy just do?" There's no way I'm not, if I'm the producer and Joe Buck's here, there's no way I'm just not dying.
I can't believe I'm not losing.
Joe, you're on your own. Because I'm rattled.
Cut the camera.
Yeah, I'm rattled.
He's an awkward billionaire. It's okay.
It was really tough. And to be fair, it is probably I don't know what this guy does, but he's probably not on TV a lot.
He's usually
trying to
not
make
on
a great
TV.
impression. Very tough. We skipped something.
Did we skip something?
Yeah. Fantasy football. We got to go back to fantasy football. What's our strategies?
Yeah. Lightning round.
Yeah, well, you want to finish with that?
I do want to finish with that.
Okay.
But, okay, so I skipped over it because I was worried about you. Because you're like, I didn't want you know what pick I want.
Well,
so I did not want to like put you in an uncomfortable spot. I did not want to force you.
At the end of the day, you're gonna stay up all night wondering if I'm telling you the real deal or if it's all smoke and mirrors, baby.
What's your strategy? Are you going QB early because quarterbacks are going earlier this year than they ever have before? Are you going zero running back? Are you like hero running back? Like what's your look this year?
Are you familiar with? We're gonna go to real football, right?
I have seen real
guys
football.
hitting each other.
Just
and you know what the good teams always say? We draft football players.
They do say that.
All right. If you've got a football player there, we're drafting him. All right. And that, you know what that's called? That's called the best available strategy.
You're going BPA.
If I've got 4 running backs on my roster and the 5th one is best available that's on the board, give me my 5th running back.
Really?
I'll win the league.
That's crazy.
We draft football players.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Some guys got it, some guys don't. I know who's dogs and who's not.
That's a bold strategy.
Strictly
Kyle.
dogs on my team. And
So
that's why my team's name is the Good Boys, and it's a picture of my dog, Ollie.
That's cute. Yeah. But it's round 13. You have every running back. You have
Best
Tony
available.
Pollard, Deuce Vaughn. It's round 13. You have two, like, your wide receivers, Richie James the fourth.
Is he the best available? Welcome aboard, Richie, to the Good Boys.
You are a psychopath. You're crazy. You can't do that.
I can do whatever I want. I'm the commissioner. I can take players off of your team, put them on my team.
Okay, this is what I have to deal with all season. That's so good.
Yeah, you better check your roster every night, baby.
I've not done enough mock drafts to even really have a strategy. I know I have to go quarterback earlier than ever, and running backs terrify me this year. So many split backfields, so I'm really up in the air about do I get one of those rare, like you had mentioned, like, Tony Pollard could be a league winner because he's a guy, he's explosive, he's there, but he's the guy.
Yeah.
Okay, you can draft football players, I get it, Zachary, but it's like running backs terrify me this year. Yeah. If I can get some running backs early that are the guy, I'll feel a lot better.
Yeah, and there's so much that, at least the way that my brain works, that goes into it, right? Because a lot of times when I'm drafting guys, I'll base it off of, obviously, is it a running back committee? What's the touches? What's the percentages?
Yeah.
Usually I'll know that kind of stuff before we go in. That is what my brain is filled with. So a lot of things that help me, just football knowledge. It's
football IQ.
It's the monkey with the cymbals that's hitting, but
ding,
it's
ding,
football.
ding.
Yeah.
I love it.
So a lot of times, I'll take a wide receiver that has a better quarterback than another wide receiver because I don't trust the quarterback. It has nothing to do with the wide receiver. Mm-hmm. It's who's throwing the ball, right? Who's at that running backs room with those guys? What did it look like last year? Who's their offensive coordinator? What do they like to do in the red zone?
So you go deep.
Yeah. And now you're picking guys based off of what their favorite color is. I'm doing actual research.
We're going to see how it shakes out. And then I'm the only one that brings stats to these meetings.
I don't need stats, bro.
You just... Before we sound off, what's that helmet?
This helmet?
That.
This is my high school alumni helmet.
No joke.
The Belding Black Knights, baby. Shout out to Belding. Also,
they're good, aren't they?
They're very good, yeah.
They're really good.
Coach Price has got them all whipped up. I brought my old high school jersey.
Oh, my God. And your name's Belding? That's incredible.
Yeah,
what are the chances?
Number 7 used to run wild. We've got the first game 2 days against the
are you gonna be there?
Bulldogs.
Are you starting?
Probably will not.
You're probably
not.
not.
If I was starting, it would be a fun time.
Oh, my God. It'd be like backyard football.
The glory days, baby.
The glory days.
No, they've got a great team. I'm really excited. Very proud of where I'm from. So I always keep track of them. And
we've almost made it to football. We're very close.
Very close.
What's the meme say? Like, we're 2 weeks away from letting a team that I chose 25 years ago dictate my emotional state for the next, 5 months.
Yeah, isn't that a wild situation?
I can't believe it. I also can't believe I just rattled that off without a break. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is very good.
That's it. Is that the end?
That's the wrap,
I'm so
baby.
sad. Now we can't talk about football for a whole week.
We'll be back soon.
We'll
be back soon, folks.
Signing off. Dolphins are going to win the Super Bowl. Oh, we got to fall asleep.
All right, we're out, baby.
That's a pretty realistic snore.
I thought that was you, dude. Who's 5630?